Very confusing trying to hear what people talk.
Rather so, thank you.
Ignore the format. Ignore the rules. There are no rules. There are no regulations. You get out and you do what you need to do because you believe in what you're doing. And therefore you won't run into any problems. If you're good enough at what you do, enough people will want to come and see you. But you have to play live. You have to hit the clubs. No other way. And all this buying yourself into TV slots, that's just not going to work in the long run. And live music is absolute, the theatre royale of youth rebellion, and we don't have any of it anymore. Alright, I'm half a century plus 1 year old.
Mazel tov.
Alright, and I got a hell of a lot more bottle than just about any fucker out there. And that ain't because I'm an obstinate, spiteful, awkward or difficult person, it's because I believe in what I'm doing. And God bless me, I don't hurt no one for it. In fact, I do you all a world of good.
Speaking...
Can I have the money? Come on, you promised me money. Ooh,
I got a loose joint in my pocket, laddie. That's about it. Are you still without a record label? And
yes, aren't I the lucky one? And here I am recommending a label to you.
Keep re-releasing those box sets like that Public Image Limited. That was a fucking kick-ass set, laddie. You got any copies left of that? A lovely vinyl too, audiophile vinyl.
Vinyl's very important, and in fact the Sex Pistols in England now, we're just re-releasing on vinyl the original singles, one every month.
Really?
From Anarchy in the UK, God Save the Queen, Pretty Vacant, Holidays in the Sun. On original vinyl in original covers. We're going to those extraordinary lengths to reintroduce you to the concept of vinyl and how amazing music sounds on vinyl as comparison to a CD, which is infinitely more superior in terms of range, a CD, but the way they're manufactured, you're not even getting a third of the damn signal. But on vinyl you get that bigger, overall fuller sound. You also get, as the needle scrapes through the grooves, the sounds of crickets whistling in the distance, which creates live music, and that's what I like. A record swings, it zings, it expands your mind. A CD is a dull old obstacle and a piece of awkwardness that really trivialises a lot of hard work. No, you weren't there. Fucking hell. I can't remember like that off the top of my head, the first gig. I've played, what, almost continuously for 30 years. That would be absurd if I was still stuck in day one.
Understood entirely, but those shows spawned a lot of bands.
Well, not because we were deliberately trying to do that, you understand. We thought we were no-hopers. And guess what? That's probably the right way. If you're looking for stardom in the music business, well, forget it. Forget it. You've just proved that you're not a star.
What do you think of some of the bands that followed in your footsteps?
I think Green Day fucking stink. I think they're the biggest fake load of nonsense I have ever seen, right? Them and a few others, but this lot really irk me, alright? They went from, we'll never change in our ice cream van from gig to gig to, what? Huge budgeted videos. They are everything that is wrong.
No,
God, aren't they good? Quick, get the garlic. Tony Wilson of Factory.
Yes.
You well dead, so God bless him, miss him. Alright, but me and him, we've had arguments over the years. For my mind, he was far too corrupt in the business end of things, and he hurt a lot of bands and he caused a lot of trouble. And he took a lot of self-aggrandizement and self-praise where it really wasn't due.
Martin Hannett was instrumental and never got paid and never got treated really. Did you know Martin? Rest in peace.
No.
I thought he was an amazing producer.
No. There used to be a lot of trouble when we'd go up north playing in places like Manchester because of people like Mr. Wilson, who would, well, they would play this north-south divide and create a tension which shouldn't have existed. But we changed that. We altered that perception. And you do that by performing live. You don't do that in the magazines, and you certainly don't be doing it by criticising the man now he's dead. I miss him already.
Understood. No one is into nostalgia.
Because I want to beat the shit out of him.
me ask, what would it take? I mean, you did the tour in '96 and '97. I know you've got to be sitting on a lot of amazing material. You just got done touring with this whole thing. Could you see yourself hitting the road again and playing live? Whatever you played with Ja?
I play live, I do, but for the last 2 years I've focused a lot on TV work because I found it so thoroughly enjoyable. We've done a lot of nature programs, which you wouldn't normally presume I'd be, you know, the obvious choice for, but I am. I love it. I love the challenge of going into situations that could be perceived dangerous, but in actuality, through being wise, are not. A thorough respect for the human race and all walks of life. It's that force, that energy inside us all that keeps us alive that utterly fascinates me. Now some translate that into religion. I don't know what it is, but it's absolutely thrilling. And it breaks my heart to see a dead thing, or to hear of anything dying, or seeing a dead thing. Right? And that is not hippie. Unfortunately, that mentality was never understood by the hippies, those selfish bastards that absolutely ruined the record industry, I might add.
They grew up and sold out.
Yes. Richard Branson.
Did you? There's a clip of Richard Branson, and a television host on like
Colbert.
AOL right now.
I haven't seen it.
No, I've not seen it either.
I wanted to see it. My wife's taping it. I love Colbert.
Yeah.
He's bang on the money. Nice piss taker. I took great pride at the Sex Pistols rejecting the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and the very first opening of the show was shot in the Cleveland Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. So rather than the Sex Pistols joining a museum and becoming a museum piece, what we did was bung in a whole load of live music with bands that write new songs, and that surely is what it should all be about, live music.
How many bands have you had to listen to in this contest?
On the very first day at the opening, I think it was 27 in one go, with 3 or 4 songs. 25, a hell of a lot. You lose count, because a show like this can embarrass the high hell out of you. Now a lot of the bands, like, you know, who clearly had to go, some of them, it's the animosity is not being really from the band members, but their mums and dads. And this is pointless. You can't be having your mum come and represent you and telling you off. And some of them have done this to me, because I don't like what their wonderful sons got up to. Well, that's a sad indictment. Where's your rebellion? That's what's missing. An act of rebellion. And it's, to my mind, which one is going to be able to see the foolishness of being on TV on a talent show, but at the same time be above and beyond it. If they have the longevity and the talent, that will show. And that's indeed what I'm always looking for. You know, a sense of naturalness, the natural order of things. If you're true to what you like, how can you fail? There's no conceit in my apparent judging. It's just what I like, what I trust, and what I have confidence in. It's not so much where it's perfectly well played or so geniusly well written, because those things are kind of important, but it's not as important as a sense of well-being, a sense of I have a life and I'm proud of it, and that shines through in really, really good music, and it doesn't shine through in really exceptionally well-played music. We're not all classical orchestras, and we must never be. Even the bands aren't battling with each other, they all actually like each other. I think, well, some of them. So, there are awkward moments amongst them, apparently. I've had squabbles with people that have talked nonsense to me. And I'm someone, if you say something wrong about me, I'm going to come straight at you and correct it. We're very different people. I see Billy and Biff as very isolated though, and that their musical tastes are not as vast as mine. It doesn't make me a better person then, but it makes them narrow and limited in their outlook, and they don't quite grasp the bigger picture. But that's all right, because you put the 3 things together and you get a sort of good assemblage of how human beings fuck each other up. Peace.